The city pulses with an energy that never truly sleeps. Neon lights flicker in the haze of dusk, casting long shadows across cracked sidewalks and graffiti-stained walls. In the heart of this urban jungle, power is currency, and respect is earned with sweat, grit, and sometimes blood. Tonight, the city holds its breath, waiting for the return of a legend, a man who vanished when the heat was at its fiercest, only to resurface with a plan that could change everything. Ace steps off the bus, the weight of the city's gaze pressing down on him. He's older now, his eyes sharper, more calculating. The scars on his knuckles tell stories of battles fought and won, of promises broken and alliances forged in the crucible of survival. He breathes in the familiar scent of exhaust and ambition, the air thick with possibility and danger. The streets remember him, even if the faces have changed. Word spreads quickly. Ace is back. The message moves from corner to corner, whispered in smoky back rooms, and shouted across bustling street markets. Old friends and new enemies alike feel the tremor of his return. For years, the city has been a chessboard, pieces moving in a delicate dance of power and loyalty. But now, with Ace's return, the game is about to change. He doesn't come back empty-handed. Ace has a plan, a blueprint for dominance, drawn from years spent studying the city's underbelly, learning its secrets, and watching its kings rise and fall. He knows that power isn't simply taken, it's built, brick by brick, with alliances, favors, and a reputation that inspires both fear and respect. His first stop is the old bar on 5th and Main, a place where the walls remember every deal and betrayal. The bartender, a grizzled man named Pops, looks up with a mixture of surprise and wariness. Ace nods, a silent greeting filled with unspoken history. He takes a seat at the far end, his back to the wall, eyes scanning the room. He's not here for nostalgia. He's here to send a message. The king is back, and he's ready to claim his throne. As the night deepens, familiar faces drift in. Some look at Ace with hope, others with suspicion. The city's power brokers, the hustlers, the fixers, the shadowy figures who pull the strings, are watching, waiting to see what move he'll make. Ace greets them with a calm confidence, his words measured, his intentions clear. He's not here to start a war, at least not yet. First, he needs to rebuild his empire, piece by piece. Ace's plan is simple but ruthless. He'll start by reclaiming his old territory. The blocks he once ruled with an iron fist and a silver tongue. He knows every alley, every shortcut, every hiding place. He knows who's loyal and who's not. He begins by reaching out to his old crew, those who survived, those who never forgot. Some have moved on, some are still licking their wounds, but all of them remember what it was like when Ace ran the show. He calls a meeting in the back room of the bar. The crew trickles in. Slim, the quiet enforcer with a reputation for getting things done. T, the brains of the operation, whose network of informants spans the city. And Rico, the wild card, unpredictable but fiercely loyal. They sit around the battered table, the air thick with anticipation. Ace lays out his vision. A path back to power, not through brute force, but through calculated moves and strategic alliances. He knows the city's new players won't go down without a fight. There's Marlowe, the ruthless dealer, who's been expanding his territory, and the Vega brothers, whose grip on the docks has made them nearly untouchable. Ace isn't intimidated. He's faced worse. He understands that to become the next Don, he'll need to outthink, outmaneuver, and, when necessary, outfight them all. The first step is to take back the streets. Ace and his crew move quietly, reclaiming corners, making deals, reminding everyone who's really in charge. They don't need to use violence, yet. Their reputation does most of the work. Ace pays off old debts, smooths over grudges, and recruits new talent. Young hustlers eager to prove themselves, drawn to the legend of Ace and the promise of something bigger. But power attracts attention, and not all of it is welcome. The police are watching, their eyes always on the lookout for the next big player. Corrupt officials want their cut, and rival crews test Ace's resolve at every turn. He navigates these challenges with a steady hand, never losing sight of his goal: Every move is calculated, every risk weighed against the potential reward. As the weeks pass, Ace's influence grows. The city begins to bend to his will, the old order giving way to the new. He's not just reclaiming his throne. He's building something stronger, something that will last. He invests in the community, opening legitimate businesses as fronts, providing jobs and protection to those who need it most. The people remember his generosity, and their loyalty becomes his most valuable asset. But the road to power is never smooth. Betrayal lurks around every corner, and Ace must stay one step ahead. He uncovers plots against him, deals gone sour, and old enemies resurfacing with a vengeance. Each challenge tests his resolve, but Ace faces them head-on, never backing down. He knows that to wear the crown, he must be willing to pay the price. Through it all, Ace remains focused on his ultimate goal, to become the next Dawn, the undisputed king of the city's underworld. He's not just fighting for power, he's fighting for respect, for legacy, for the right to rule. The city is his jungle, and he's determined to rise to the top, no matter what it takes. As the season draws to a close, Ace stands on the rooftop of his newly reclaimed territory, looking out over the city that has shaped him, broken him, and ultimately made him stronger. The streets hum with the promise of a new era, and Ace knows that the real battle is just beginning. But for now, he stands tall, the crown within his grasp, ready to claim his place as king.